Hey guys, we wanted to do a quick overview tutorial of sort of the basics of tracking your macros, how to read a food label, and how to put everything into MyFitnessPal, which is the app that we use to track everything. So real quick, the basic thing we need to start with is what are macros, and that's just an abbreviation for macronutrients, which is the energy that you get from food. Everything breaks down into three categories: fat, protein, and carbohydrate. There's a little bit of fiber in there that also has calories. And then micronutrients are your vitamins and minerals that don't have calories. Very important, but they don't have calories in them. So,
yeah. And then here's the breakdown of how many calories are in each macronutrient. And you have 4 for the protein, 4 for carbs, and then 9 for fat. And then here's an example of an RX bar. And in that specific
these are delicious, by the way.
We have 7 grams of fat, and so what you do is you take the 7 and times it by 9 from this number, and there you have 63 calories from the fat, and then the same thing with the carbs and the protein. So for this specific bar, we have 100 calories for the carbs, and then 48 for the protein, and that equals 211, but they round it down, and the label will say 210. So those are just some things that you have to watch out for when you're looking at labels.
But it's going to be really close if you just look at, when you're reading a label, look at those 3 things: protein, carbs, and fat. Do that simple math calculation and you'll come up with the total calories. But the nice thing is, whenever you have a packaged food like this, or let's say your protein or something like that, just pull up MyFitnessPal. Lizzie can show you how to put in your macronutrient targets in grams into MyFitnessPal. So once you have those set, it's super easy to just add a food. I'm going to add this in. There's a little button right here at the top. I don't know if you can see that, but a little scanner. You just push that, if it's going to work for me, and scan that, and it pops up exactly with everything: carbs, fat, and protein for that bar. You click it and you're done. So super easy. Now if you're tracking something that is does not have a label, let's say something like this, or an apple, something that has a core, if you cut it, you're going to get, you're going to take the core out. So this is what you would weigh on a food scale, and there should be a link to a food scale that we like from Amazon. They're like $14 that weighs in grams and ounces. So that's really what you want to have the accurate measurement. But just throw that on there in grams, search for it in MyFitnessPal, and add that to your log. Super easy.
And then a couple things that I want to point out is when you're weighing your protein, let's say chicken, you want to weigh that in ounces. And I prefer to weigh it after I cook it, just because I feel like it's a little bit easier to get the accurate measurement of that after it's cooked.
And more sanitary.
Yeah, and more sanitary. And on top of that, in MyFitnessPal, there's tons of options there for cooked chicken. And then your carbs, like your sweet potato, your rice, your oatmeal, all of those, you want to weigh those in grams.
Yep, so that's kind of the basic overview. Again, if this is really new, if we could keep anything and have you keep anything in mind, it's just that this is going to be kind of difficult. It's a little bit of a learning experience for just the first month or two. But once you get the hang of it, you're going to have such a great idea of portion sizes, what your intake should be without having to track it. So don't think that you're going to be logging your food forever. Just think of it as a learning experience to learn what the ideal amounts of all of these things you should be having, and it can be very eye-opening for people and quite a learning experience. So just be open-minded to it. If you have any questions, we're here to help.
Absolutely.